Will enters the palace as a dancer and the king chooses her, but the plan is ruined because Sejong Hyun asks the king to take the dancer that he chose. He spreads incense and she faints because of it. Will wakes up after 4 days and is asked to get ready for her ceremony to be an official crown prince's concubine. The crown prince enters her room, he hugs her, but a black evil spirit prevents him from continuing. Will don't remember anything, it seems she lost her memory. Sejong Hyun tells Will that her name is Gyare and they are very close to each other. He tells her that she was a dancer and they are dating for a while before she ended up dancing at the king's party and asks her to trust him. Servant Nung tells the guard Jin Seo that the prince's second personality aka he is in the control. The prince used the incense to make the dancer asleep and knocked out the royal concubine. The queen tells the prince's wife that the prince is with the dancer and no one is allowed to enter his concubine's room. The princess says she is the legal wife and everything is under her control. While Will feels strange and something is wrong, the prince gets angry because the princess postpones the ceremony for 2 days, and the servant warns him if he intervenes, the king may call the whole thing off. While Gyare is walking around the palace, she sees the soldiers and eludes them. She discovers that she can fight. Sejong is told that there is an intruder highly skilled in martial arts, and he thinks that she may be Gyare. He bits his lips to not to sleep, because if he sleeps, Sejong Hyun will wake up and may be kicking Gyare out. He warns his guard if he burns the Suma incense to make him asleep, he will behead him. He takes a cold path to not to sleep. He remembers her words that he is fake, but he insists that her trust will make him real. Servant Nung accompanies guard Jin Seo to go to Shaman Chunta to bring more Suma incense because he took all Suma incense they had, and the prince needs to sleep or he will damage his health and his spilt personality will be exposed. Servant Nung tells guard Jin Seo that the prince developed his second personality after the king ascended the throne. That happened when the prince took a nap that day because he didn't use to take a nap. Shaman Chunta gives them some Suma incense. They burn it and finally, he sleeps and in the morning, Sejong Hyun is back. Gyare disguises in her servant's clothes to leave the palace to find who she really is, while the queen is secretly watching her. It's turned out the dancer who the king chose her isn't Gyare. When she is about to leave, Sejong Hyun sees her. She tells him that she lost her memory and she is a dancer. He realizes it's one of he's tricks. She describes him that he is a madman because he wants to lock her up. He gets angry and is told that the king summoned him and his concubine Gyare. While Sejong gets shocked seeing Gyare as the prince's concubine, the king asks Sejong Hyun why he swapped the dancer that the king chose. Sejong Hyun says he liked Gyare enough to make her his concubine. When the king asks Gyare, she replies she was enthralled by the prince, too. The king continues laughing and becomes proud that his son can enthrall a woman that he chose. Outside, Sejong Hyun tells her she could have lost her life, but she bravely says she should do what she can in such a case instead of trembling. Elsewhere, the crown princess tells his father that dancer will never get installed as a concubine. At the palace, Gyare is confused about the prince, how he missed yesterday her, but today he wants to lock her up. The prince and his guard go out of the palace in disguise, and she follows them. He goes to the tailor shop in order to implement the design that Gyare gave him. While he works, she secretly watches him. The owner of the shop catches her telling her that she made a hole in his roof and asks her to pay or sending her to jail, but the prince shows up and pays for the roof repair on her behalf. She asks him not to return to the palace because she wants to find out who she is. She gets surprised that he agrees to abandon her in the opposite of yesterday. He was happy that she will be his concubine. She asks him if he has 2 personalities. While she walks in the marketplace, she hurries to help a woman because some men attack her, but those men catch Gyare. The prince pops up, helping her to escape. He reminds her if she doesn't return to the palace, her servant Honggun will be flogged and tortured. On their way back to the palace, Sejong Hyun thinks he will use her to take down he. While she thinks in the next time she escapes, she will take her servant Honggun, too. The soldiers break into her room and arrest her. The crown princess's father accuses her that she is an assassin because she has the kerchief, which belongs to the assassin who sneaked to the king's party. The king orders the soldiers to tie her and tortures her until she confesses.